Hey, what's going on, guys? So, today's video, or at least the original video that I did have planned, is scrapped, and it kind of sucks because originally from the figure collection store, I did just recently get in the new Wrestle Something Wrestlers as well as the new release from Epic Toys. And man, those figures are absolutely insanely good. And I am crazy ecstatic about getting those new reviews out for you guys. But I am going to postpone those reviews for about another week or so. And while 10,000 other guys are out there doing their reviews, like I said, I am going to be about a week or so behind everybody else, and that sucks. And I'm already going to be behind the Macho Man reviews because, like I said, I've already gotten the gold figures in, and I'm holding off those reviews because I want to do those reviews alongside the black and white reviews. So I want to get them all together. Reason the originally planned video is not being made today because I feel like it's important to talk about today's topic, because I feel like this whole Rush Collectibles situation won't die down. And it's kind of funny that a channel like mine seems to keep getting into these little grips, these little scenarios. I'm like, dude, this is a family-friendly channel. Why do I keep finding myself in these situations? It's insane. I mean, I'm not in any type of squabble with any in particular any type of person or anything like that. Not like it was earlier in the year. Nothing crazy like that. But I make a lot of review videos. Okay, guys. So obviously, it's with review videos. It's personal opinions. You can have 10,000 people over here reviewing the exact same item you are reviewing, and 10,000 people over here can absolutely be in love with the items that they are reviewing, and you can review that item and you can absolutely despise it. But you know what? That is one reason why I don't get on IMDb and read reviews about movies, because there are so many movies out there. Like, what's that one video game? It's like a vampire movie with Kristana Loken. It was a video game movie, and it was a video game that they turned into a movie. Oh man, the name of the movie is slipping my mind. But like, you get on IMDb and you read reviews, it makes it seem like it's the worst freaking movie ever made. But hell, I was overseas. I remember being in the army watching that movie, and I freaking loved the movie. So, not everybody are going to have the same taste, right? And so, there are so many times I've read reviews about movies, and I'm like, you guys are insane. These freaking movies are awesome. Back in the 80s, Howard the freaking Duck. I love that freaking movie as a kid. And I think like every 10 years or so, I find myself bored out of my mind, sitting around by myself. My wife's in bed sleeping. I got nothing to do, nothing to watch, and by chance, maybe like on YouTube, or maybe like, I don't know, on HBO or something, maybe I come across Howard the Duck, and every 10 years I'll put on like Howard the Duck. That movie still holds up. It's still one of my favorite movies. But like, you read about reviews and stuff, and people talk about Howard the Duck like it's horrible, and it's not. It's a fantastic movie, right? So, what is the freaking Rush Collectibles situation right now? I grew up in the early 1990s playing with the 1990s Hasbro wrestling action figures. They are my childhood toy line. They are my all-time favorite action figures. So 3 years ago, when I started collecting, obviously any new toy line today that comes out and mimics the 1990s Hasbro figures, I obviously gravitate towards those toy lines. So when you start looking at Mattel Retros, when you start looking at Zombie Sailors, Heels and Faces, when you look at Hastel Toys, Grapplers and Gimmicks, when you look at Rush Collectibles, Ringmasters, and you look at Premier Wrestling, and you just look at all these different toy lines that are emulating the 1990s Hasbros, I am going to be super overly excited to pick up those figures and see how well they mesh with the 1990s Hasbros. So yes, as a collector and a fan of these action figures, I was ecstatic to pick up the Rush Collectibles Ringmaster figures. Now, as a mint on card collector, obviously all I had was the figures MOC. I did not have them loose, so I could not give a thorough review of the figures. And during the review, as a new collector, obviously, during the review, you kind of want to be fair. You want to give an honest assessment, but you don't want to sit there and you don't want to humiliate the creators, obviously. And because you didn't have them in hand, you couldn't do a full-on review, so there's only so much information you could relay. And I remember giving a very positive review when I was doing those reviews for Rush Collectibles. Now since then, I've gotten several figures loose, and I've come back and I've done a couple of videos for Rush Collectibles, and I've still gone out and I've given positive reviews. I've still said, hey, I absolutely love the card backs for Rush Collectibles. I think the pictures, the graphical designs of the card backs are fantastic. I love the fact that it still gives you that series number and the figure number in the corner. Okay? I love the fact that when you flip the cards over, I love the bio that it gives you. I love the fact that it gives you that little layout on the bottom showing you the different characters that are part of that series release. Okay? So there are a lot of positives to take away from the Rush Collectibles releases. But that is probably the biggest red flag with Rush Collectibles Ringmasters. If the card backing is the biggest draw to your line, that is a huge red flag. Who cares about the card backing? Yes, the graphics are amazing. I mean, look at your AWA your wrestling ring and your LJN wrestling rings and your card backs. Those are iconic looks that people love to look at. Got it. I've talked about loving the original San Francisco card backs because they're nice, thick cardboard. The graphics are amazing, but your figures are obviously what you want, especially if they're for kids, who are going to play with them. And I got it. These are technically designed for adult collectors, and they're not really for kids to play with. But when you take them out of the plastic and you lift the arms or twist the body a little bit, and the figures crumble in your hand into a million pieces, how can you sit there and continue to sit there and say, yes, these are amazing figures, highly recommend to everybody? What kind of credibility would I have to my viewers if I'm sitting there and recommending these figures to other people, to other interested buyers, to other interested collectors? So I bring this up because I recently have had a viewer, and I've said this before, I don't like when content creators, I don't care what content which content you create for what platform, TikTok, YouTube, what the hell else is there? Twitch, is that one? Um, I don't know the different platforms. I mean, TikTok and YouTube really the only ones I know about, but I think Twitch is one. Other video game platforms, I don't know, but if you're on one of those platforms and you create videos or live streams, etc., if you're a business owner and somebody comes out and they give you feedback or they have some kind of critique or something, the last thing you want to do is go out and humiliate or shame someone for having a disagreement with you. That is absolute stupidity. So the last thing I want to do is go out and humiliate or call out or embarrass someone. And I've never done that, okay? I have never gone out and got into these arguments with my viewers because they've had disagreements with me. I've always said I've welcomed it. If you got a difference of opinion, fantastic. Let's have a conversation. Let's learn from each other. But there's a huge difference between having a difference of opinion and kind of having a conversation and learning from each other, and someone that just simply kind of like trolling your channel a little bit. So when someone kind of calls you out, oh, well, here in this video, you were bragging about loving these figures, and now here you are in this video, absolutely, hating on these figures, calling them straight trash. You are as a matter of fact, I got to get the verbiage right on here. You are a major Mark Bandwagon reviewer. Major Mark Bandwagon reviewer. I don't even know what the hell that even means. And that's a problem, because if you're going to insult somebody, at least insult them with something that they can actually understand what you're trying to relay. I can't be offended because I don't know what you're trying to tell me. Honestly, the word mark, I've been actually making videos, mark videos, and I've come to realize or come to learn that I've been using the word mark incorrectly. So in my videos, I've been basically referring to marks as sort of idiots of the week, or marks are people that have been trying to scam you, or basically you're douchebags, people that are trying to take advantage of you, screwing you over type of deal. I've learned from my friend Mark. I've become to learn that actually the term mark refers to people who believe in kayfabe, that wrestling is real. Shout out to our good friend Bone Breaking Action. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, Bone Breaking Action, one of the greatest wrestling channels on YouTube. So definitely give him a like and follow his channel if you haven't done so. So that's what mark is. It's people that believe that wrestling is real and will fight you on it if you tell them otherwise. So I've actually been using the term mark incorrectly. So I don't understand. Again, Major Mark Bandwagon reviewer. Is he trying to say that I think the wrestling figures are real? I mean, I don't understand. Like, again, I don't understand what he's trying to say. Again, I've only been collecting 3 years. I know when you look around my room, you're like, damn, you've probably been a collector for 50 years. No, this is all collected in the last 3 years. So I've made it a life mission to try and build up a collection as quick as possible, because, well, if it wasn't for YouTube, I would have probably Hasbro and probably a few Galoob, and that's basically it. Maybe LJN, because once I got into picking up those pieces, they really fascinated me. But other than that, probably 95% of what I own wouldn't have been here. I only got the stuff because of YouTube, and obviously if I wanted to make videos and kind of meet new people and kind of put out videos for the viewers. I knew I had to acquire new things and kind of show the different lines that are out there. So here's the thing, kind of going back to Rush Collectibles, and I say it in my wrestling tournaments all the time. If I got a matchup and I got two figures squaring off, and figure A beats figure B, and I'm like, hey, you know what? If I had this matchup and 5 minutes later I come down, do the same matchup, figure B could beat figure A. Or the next day, figure B could beat figure A. How you feel about one figure one day could be completely different the next day, right? When I first started my collection, I didn't give a rat's ass about Greg Valentine LJN. Today, Greg Valentine is one of my top 10 favorite LJN figures ever. When I first started my collection, I thought Adrian Adonis, with the hand out and the leg kicked out the way it was one of the ugliest, stupidest LJN figures ever made. Horrendous. I freaking hated it with every fiber of my soul. Over the last year and a half, 2 years, I would argue, today I say that Adrian Adonis LJN is easily one of the top 20 best LJN figures ever made. So, zombie sailors. I've probably made 1,000 zombie sailor figure videos, reviews and whatnot, and I have been very supportive of zombie sailors for as long as I've been making videos for the last few years. But if you go back and you look at my last several videos, you can kind of see how my feelings of the figures have been dwindling, and I'm not being as supportive of the figures as I once have. Why? Because your feelings change over time. Sometimes they evolve and you become more supportive. Sometimes you become weary and you just don't feel as strongly about them as you once did. So for this guy to kind of ride my ass because I was once supportive of these figures and now today I don't like them at all. Okay. Yeah. When I first got them, they were new Hasbro style figures, and I was grateful to start a new line of collection. Today, I actually have loose figures to display in front of my carded figures. And you know what? Almost every single one of them are literally breaking in my hand as I hold them. They are literally crumbling into pieces. Not just that. When you actually look at them, they look like they're made out of clay. They are poorly made. They're breaking into pieces. I mean, what? Look at an actual Hasbro figure and compare it to the skin tone, the facial expression, the look of an actual Ringmaster figure from Rush Collectibles. They're not good figures. I go back and I talk about grapplers and gimmicks. They had the exact same issue with their figures. Ahmed Johnson, the very first figure I ever got from them, I think that's probably the first figure they made, period. And that figure broke into a million pieces in your hand. It looked spectacular on card. Now, when you put the pieces together, it looks solid. Smoke Train, adequate figure. He looked like a Simpsons character. I mean, from that standpoint, yeah, I mean, it looked like a nice figure for a Simpsons piece. But I wouldn't really say it was a good character. It's probably one of the worst figures from the entire Grapplers and Gimmicks line, if you want to be fair. Mabel and Mo. Most importantly, Mabel. I have always said had the way, the shape of his face and whatnot, it kind of looked like it was made from clay. Wasn't really good, but I still said that the Mabel figure was still probably one of my top 5, top 10 all time favorite figures, period, regardless. But they made that figure over and over again, and they kept improving that figure. And since then, all of the figures are almost immaculate. How many figures have Rush Collectibles been coming out with? They just have not improved in any areas. That is my complaint with Rush Collectibles. Their figures are overly priced and they have not improved in quality, not one bit. And as I go back and I say once again, if the best aspect of your action figures are the card backs, you are going to go out of business if you do not listen to your consumers and take heed, take notice, and listen to what the recommendations are. Nobody's going to buy your crap, and that's what these figures are. And so when I get this type of slack, oh well, you're again, I got to go back and forth because I keep forgetting the damn verbiage. Memory problems. Bandwagon reviewer. Like, how am I a bandwagon reviewer? I review figures that I get because a good chunk of my channel is reviewing new figures that I get in. That's the fun part of the channel is acquiring new collections and being able to show off the figures for the folks who might be interested in them. I'm pretty sure majority of people that watch my channel don't give a rat's ass about purchasing these figures ever, but I'm sure they'd like to see them. And for those that might be interested in picking up these figures in the future, hey, are they worth it? Let's somebody else buy them first, and let me see what they look up close and personal, and let me see their feelings about them. There are other content makers out there who I'm sure these companies are sending free gifts to, and they're just giving them the most glowing positive reviews imaginable. And yeah, when you're getting free stuff from the company, of course, 100% of what you're talking about is going to be positive because you're essentially getting paid by the distributor. Luckily, as a lot of my viewers, a lot of my commenters have said, hey, thank you for being fair and honest with your reviews. That's what I try to strive for. So when I kind of get this kind of hate, I can sit back, let it, slide off your back and whatnot. But this is what, the second or third time now this is kind of happened. I'm like, I didn't want to talk about, after, what was it, the last big 40-minute Rush Collectibles video. I said it before, I didn't want to talk about Rush Collectibles anymore because I don't want to give them any more free publicity. It's a company I feel like don't deserve it. That Larry Zabisco figure in the last video, like I said, that Larry Zabisco video, couple minute video, was supposed to be posted on Monday. And on Sunday, I was supposed to be talking about all of the new epic toy figures that came in. And I might have even thrown in the wrestling, something wrestler figures that came in as well. But I decided to push these figures back, move up that 2-minute video, and actually put this video afterwards so that I can kind of address these issues. So opinions change. How you felt about something 2 years ago, you're not going to feel about today. I may have absolutely loved something yesterday that I might despise today, and vice versa. Do you think that your best friend in 8th grade is going to be your best friend your senior year of high school? There are so many examples, so many arguments that you can make the exact same way. So for me to get that kind of to catch that kind of heat, that's unfair. Um, I'm gonna still do my reviews. If I have to kind of backtrack and be like, hey, like I said, Zombie Sailors is like the biggest one right now. I don't feel the same way about Zombie Sailors that I once did. I feel like they've been going on a downhill spiral. What is the other one? The Big Rubber Guys. I've said I was going to be a lifelong customer of Big Rubber Guys, and I thought their figures were absolutely amazing. I've been catching myself lately, especially over the last couple of series, where even the Big Rubber Guys, I'm starting to lose interest. I'm thinking 2025 might be the year that I finally give up collecting. Maybe. A lot of it has to do with space and availability of this room. I've had to branch out in other rooms of the house to kind of, keep my collection going. But I mean, with the increase in pricing, the freaking Big Rubber Guys have gone up like $15-$20 in their prices. So, uh, their prices aren't even, fair anymore. Their figures aren't all that. All right, that's all I gotta say about this. I mean, this video went a lot longer than expected. That's what I wanted to make this like a 10-minute video to address, and I think we're probably hit like 20 minutes or more. Yeah, my eyesight sucks. I don't even know what time that says. So, guys, next, I don't know. Shoot, probably next Sunday we'll hit on the Epic Toys figures. Maybe next Monday I'll show off the Wrestle Something wrestler figures that came in from the figure collection store. So yeah, that'll knock out the Sunday Monday videos, and likewise this upcoming Tuesday we'll have part 5 of the Hasbro review. Wednesday through Saturday we'll still have the LJN tournament going. So, and then following we'll have the Epic Toys and Wrestle Something review videos. I don't want to stop the reviews. I mean, that's like one of the big part of the channel. So for those who think I'm backtracking, I mean, I'm not really. At one point I love something, at another point I don't. It's as simple as that. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for letting me vent. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Again, talk to you guys in the comments. See you in the next video, and until next time.